Okay, let me start. What is case management in Pega? So, last time we discussed, right, work object and BPM, business process management, where we are automating everything. We are automating work object. So from using 6 hours Pega BPM 6 hours. So in case management, we will create a case and we'll track that case. So by visually representing the business tasks into your stages. So basically we are creating a visual representation of the process. It's a task of the process. It's a small business process. We are visually representing and we are tracking and we are modeling that case. So in Pega we call it as a case. So nowadays we're calling it a case. So case management, how we are managing that case from start to end. So from open to resolve. So in between the case will be routed to multiple users and it will have SLAs. So how you are managing the case in Pega. So that's basically called a case management in Pega. So we have some important terminology in case management: case type, case life cycle, stages, process, and steps, and child case, and case logging. So these are all the terminologies in the case management. So we should know about each one of them. Okay. So I'm going to discuss each one of them. So what is case type? So if you open the Pega Design Studio, we have Design Studio, right? Dev Studio. So in the left side we have navigation panel. Here we have case types, and here we have what are all the case types in our Pega. So this is a case. This is a case type. So case type. What is case? A case which represents a business process. As I said, it is a one business process. So business has multiple processes, but one case represents a one process. So case it's a top level thing. So under it will have multiple cases, it will have multiple child cases, and it will have multiple processes, sub cases, and attachments. Everything it will have everything. So if you open the Pega, we have right. This is a Designer Studio. So left side we have case type. What are all the case types we have created in this application? So once you click on that, this is the case type. So this is a small application MyTown. It is in the Pega course. A small MyTown application. So for this application, there is a case type service request. So actually in the MyTown application, people are raising a service request for their town problems. For example, roads or parks or path holes, anything like all the requests. For each request, they are raising a request through this case type. So it's a reusable template in the business process. It's a reusable template. So it will have a unique behavior. So this is case type. It will have a life cycle and it will have a stages. These are called stages. It will have a steps. It will have a process. Everything is in the case. This is the case type. So what is case life cycle? So our business model, we need to represent in the visual representation. So this is called case life cycle. It's a case journey. How the case is processing in our application. So initially it will have one stage, submission stage, then it will go to review stage, then it will go to resolution stage. So this is called life cycle. So journey of the case life cycle. We call it as a case life cycle. So we have stages. So case will be going through each stage. So it will. So suppose this case type has 3 stages. We call it as stages: submission stage, review stage, resolution stage. So this is the final stage, means approval stage, resolution stage, where case will be resolved, completed. So once you create a case, it will enter into the submission stage. So what is stage? The stage is a first level to complete the work associated case. Hello? I don't know, am I audible or not?
Yes, you are audible only.
Okay, yeah, because nobody's okay. So Pega suggests as a best practice, yeah, each case step should have at least 3 stages. So we know right. These are all stages. We call it as a stages: submission stage, review stage, resolution stage. So it's a visual representation. So a layman can understand what is this. So this is a MyTown application. This is a case type for MyTown application. It has submission stage, review stage, and resolution stage. Okay. So these are all the best Pega provides. Each case type should have at least 3 stages, and how we name the stages: submission, review, resolution. It has a naming conventions. So,
Hi, sir. Hi, sir. Sorry for the interruption, but before continue, I would like to confirm like a few of the users. I would like to confirm with them. Like, okay, sorry for the
okay.
interruption, sir. Hey, I saw like a BHAA. Who's that? May I know the full name? Hello, the user BHAA on the participant list. Yes, sir. You can continue. Sorry for the interruption.
Okay. So so we talk about the stages, right? So case has at least 3 stages, and each stage will have steps. These are all called steps. So submit issue. So this is the one step. Again, we can add multiple steps. So here in the initial submission stage, we have a step. So in that step, we have 4 or 5 assignments. So a step represents or a assignment or a case. We can create a case here, child case here. So this is an assignment. We can route to another user, and we can add a process. We can add a, this is the flow. We can add a flow. So a stage can contain multiple steps. So sequence of steps it should complete. Case should go through. Case should complete. So it represents the completion of task completed in the stage. Okay, these are called steps. So in this submission stage, we have one step. Here we can click to add another step. Hello. Yeah. So steps are actionable things. So what to do? So to do task. These are all the tasks the case should complete to proceed to another stage or to proceed to resolve or approve. So each case should enter the case stage and it should complete the steps based on the logic we written. Sometimes we can skip and sometimes it has to complete all the steps. Then it will go to next stage. So process. So in the steps we talk right. This is the this is the stage. This is the step. In the step, so we can add tasks like assignments and we can add processes. This is a process. Submit issue is a process. In that process, we have these are all the assignments. Just screen at assignments. So right, a process. So process means it's a flow. We can call it as a flow. So entity of rules are in the nested. So this is the submit issue process. It will have all the tasks: report a problem, identify location, identify submitter, request updates. So this is in the submit issue process. So
Hello, Ramesh sir.
I think he dropped off. I believe so.
Yeah, I guess his call got disconnected. Give me a second. I'm trying to contact him. Sorry for the interruption, guys.
Sure.
అన్న మీ కాల్ డిస్కనెక్ట్ అయిందన్న ఏం వినపడట్లేదు చాలాసేపు అయింది డిస్కనెక్ట్ లేదన్న అసలు నేను కంప్యూటర్ కనెక్ట్ అయ్యాను occur once.
Yeah, hello. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm back.
Yes, we are able to hear.
So where exactly it has disconnected the step or process?
At the process.
At the process.
Okay. Okay.
Started
Yeah.
process, sir.
So okay. So each stage will have multiple processes, and each process will have multiple tasks, assignments, everything, right? So, and we can child case. What is child case? So child case is it's a dependencies of a parent case, means it will have a parent case, and it could be a parent case to the another case. Hello.
Sorry, sir. Someone is on mute. That's fine. You carry on.
Okay, so in fact, child cases. So if you have a parent case, we can create a child case. So that child case could be a parent to the another child case, and so in Pega, all the child cases should be resolved before parent case resolved. So this is the technical thing. I don't know who is talking. So a child case will establish a relationship between the parent and the child case and the related cases. So this is all child case. Here in this submission stage, we can add another step, and we can add a child case here. So this is all in the steps. So case locking. So if you create a case, so if you route that case to user, how you are handling the locking, or what is the locking strategies? So in Pega, we have two locking strategies. One is default locking and one is optimistic locking. So means only one user can work on that case, or allowing multiple users to work on the case. So this is all about case locking. I have another session on the case locking. It's a huge topic. So how you are going to lock our case? How you are going to manage the control of our application or case type? This is all about locking. How you are locking? Are you allowing one user to work on the case, or are you allowing multiple users to work on the same case? So this is all locking. So in Pega, we have two different locking strategies: default locking and optimistic locking. So precisely, default locking means one user at a time can open that case and work. Whereas optimistic locking means multiple users can open that case and work. So how you are going to create the case in Pega? So this is called case designer. I showed you, right? The left side we have case.
Ramesh, if you don't mind, can you give an example like when we need the default locking, like one user at a time for the case management? Hello. Yeah, Ramesh, can you able to hear me?
Yeah, so no, most of the time, most of the organizations, most of the time, we'll go with the default locking only. Means allowing only one user to work on that case, because if multiple users are working on the same case, there could be a risk, right? So changes. If you and me are working on the same case, so what about the changes? If you submit, or if I go and submit early, so in the most of the scenarios, we'll go for default locking. So optimistic locking means allowing multiple users to work on the same case. It's a rare scenario where in the some organization we can allow multiple users. Suppose there is a case, suppose there is object which should be worked by multiple users at the same time. Case. Suppose a case is routed to multiple users. Suppose the interview process. So if you want to send that case to the multiple users for the same level review. So we can send that case to the multiple users and we can ask them to work on the case type. So where all the users will open the case and they can work. So this is called optimistic locking, where we will define the optimistic locking, allowing multiple users work on the case. I don't understand your question, but I understand
No, I got
what
it.
is
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
and what is
Yeah.
optimistic
Thank
locking.
you. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Thank you.
where we are designing this case type and case where we are defining the life cycle of the case in the designer studio, in the case designer, in our design studio we call it as a case designer. So this will help to create the case types and define the case life cycle. So if you open a case type, we have these tabs: data model, workflow, views, settings, and test cases. I'll show you. So this is the case type. We have different tabs. So workflow, data model, views, settings, and test cases. So each will define something about the case. So if you come to data model, so we'll be defining all the data objects in this tab. Suppose example, all the addresses, phone numbers. This is all the data objects. So where we create from the data designer will be coming to here. So all the properties, all the data types. So will be coming here about that case. So workflow tab. This is the representation tab of our case. So case life cycle. So where we are going to create our stages, add our steps, and add our assignments, so processes. Everything will be here in the workflow tab. So views tab. So views means for user interface. So where we are defining all the user interface rules. So sections, everything will be defined here. So those will be comes under here. So this is the actual end user view, end user views. We are creating and defining here. So like user interface sections, harnesses, everything will be user interface rules will be coming here in this tab. So we have a settings tab. So if you want to define what is the work object ID, suppose each case will have unique work object ID in Pega, right? So what is the work object case ID starting S dash or M dash or this, and attachment, email notifications, configurations, and SLAs and the locking, everything will be in this settings tab about that case, particular case. So test cases, if you want to create your test cases and you want to do here, we have test cases. This will only be available in the Dev Studio. So we have studios, right? Dev Studio, Admin Studio, and Designer Studio. So in the Dev Studio only we can see this test cases. If you open the case type in the App Studio, we don't have this tab. So what are the portals? So if you create a case, Pega will, we have two portals. One is case manager portal, one is case worker portal. So this is, in the name itself says one is manager, one is worker. So in the case manager portal, this tool offers the manager to track and all the reports and all the assignments of the workers, how they performed, how they completed. So manager can see all those things here, reports and everything they can see here in this case manager portal. So we have case worker portal where exactly that CSR means customer representatives will perform the task, will open the task and the assignments, they will perform on the assignments, works, tasks, everything will be done here. So case designer studio. So as I said, we can define our case type, case life cycle in these two studios, Dev Studio and App Studio. We have two studios. So this is Dev Studio. Actually, this is the developer design studio. So where we can create our case and we can do our things here, and we can go to we have other explorers in the navigation. We have App Explorer, Data Types Explorer, Records Explorer. So whereas if you go to App Studio, we don't have those things. Only we can create case, and we can see the channels, we can see the data types. We don't have Application Explorer where exactly we can see all the rules. We don't have Explorer in that App Studio. So this is the basic difference. So okay, this is all about case management. What is case? What is case type? Life cycle, stages, steps, and the different tabs in the case life cycle. So coming to organization structure. So Pega is mainly defined a three-level organization, three-level hierarchy. So it is called organization, division, unit. Okay. So organization and division unit. So this is a simple example. So this is some our co-application. It has three-layered architecture. One is organization and a division and unit. So organization is enterprise level thing. So it's a company name, an enterprise level thing. So our core is the organization. It's a enterprise layer. So it has different divisions. It has sales, IT, and HR divisions, and it has multiple units. So organization, division, unit. So each division will have multiple units. Again, each unit will have sub-units. So in Pega, it is defining as a three-level hierarchy. One is organization, division, unit. So when we create our application, we will follow all these things. We'll give organization name, division name, unit name, so that Pega will create enterprise class structure. It will create, it generate. So here are some points. So a hierarchy has only one organization, and this represents the entire enterprise. Suppose Amazon. So that is the organization. So so an organization can have more divisions. Like I said, so here our co-organization has three divisions. One is sales division, IT and HR department. It's like departments: sales department, IT department, HR department. So an organization can have one or more divisions. A division can be defined as a layer for categorizing business units such as division, brand, department. So in the division level, we are actually defining our branding, our departments, it's IT division, HR division. So further divisions can have one or more units. So a division cannot have subdivisions. So like here, unit can have multiple subunits, but a division cannot have subdivisions. Division can only have units. So this is all high in this level, but going forward we can understand what is this. Just see the terminology. That's it. So I am going to create a case type now today. So I think all of you have installed that personal 8.4 personal edition.
Yes, installed.
Yes.
So, yeah. So just go and create our one case type, and we'll see. So how to create case type and how to add stages. So going forward, we'll elaborate that case type. So this is all theory part. We'll go to technical part. Okay. So far you have any questions before we start our new case type? So we'll create one application. We'll create one case type, and we'll add the stages and steps to that. Later we can extend that case. So if you have installed this personal edition, just to open your personal edition and log in with administrator.pega.com, we install. We'll try to create one case type now.
Sir, if you don't mind, can you please log off and log in back? Can you please show us like how to log in to Pega's application? If you don't. Sorry for the interruption.
Okay. So okay. So once you install your personal edition, you have three icons on the desktop, right? One is startup and subdown and log on. Just want to shut down and then we'll start up. Okay, before it is going to shut down, installation. You have gone through this article, right? Installation, Pega personal installation 8.4 from PDM. So I have attached the document step by step how to install the personalization.
Ramesh, can you paste that link in that group chat, if you don't mind?
Sure.
Thank you.
So okay, first of all, you should have a PDN account, right? PDN account, then you can download this personalization.
Cloud version. Can we try to log online itself?
Can you please repeat the question? I don't know who.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah. You're good now.
Yeah. Sir, actually, without downloading this software in offline, so is there any cloud online web is available to log into that Pega platform?
Yeah, it is there, but do you have PDN account? First, you need to have PDN account, then only you can have all the access. You can download the personalization, or there you can enroll a course. Pega will give a URL, online URL, where you can learn all the things.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, so once you install our personalization, we have 3 desktop icons. One is server startup. So if you click on that, Tomcat server will start up. Then you need to click on this login icon. Okay, so you need to log in with administrator@pega.com and the password is install. Okay, this is a Pega default application, Pega platform application, Pega roles. So somehow we need to build our application on this Pega platform. We have built an application. You can click on this. So Pega has provided some template, case type templates. We can use of them, or we can create our own case types here. So you can set all of the case types here. Or we can create our own case types here. Sorry, application. Sorry, not the case type, application. So so once you click on the create new application, we need to give our application name. We can do advanced configuration also. If you click on this, it will open advanced configuration.
Hello, Ramesh sir.
Yeah, hello.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. I'm just thinking how to do the name.
Sorry, sir, screen is frozen.
This instance is already there.
Pega training app.
Yeah, good way. Yeah. Not take phone. Do not take Pega. FTP. Team Pega. So, audible? Hello.
Yes,
we
Ramesh.
Hello.
can hear you.
Yes,
Yeah, we can hear you.
I just create the team session. If users.
Sir, I think your screen is frozen, so we can able to hear the audio, but the screen is frozen.
Oh, frozen. Stop sharing and okay. So we know right how to create our application. Once you log into, so either we can go here and create new application. So once you click on this, it will application page where users name. Once you click, so Pega our application. And not in our
might be some issue with the network. I hope so, Ramesh.
yeah. Let me see. It will create. I think is not okay. Okay, we'll create another application. No issues. So
Sharil,
go here and click on new
do
application.
one thing.
Yeah.
You can process if it's whenever they want. First, you can complete your case management.
I didn't understand. Your voice is
Ramesh sir, sorry, this is Srinivas. Ramesh sir, please continue with the existing application for the case management flow. I don't know who responded. The other guy, he's okay to give the session, like he's okay to handle the thing, how to create the installation and how to create the application.
Yeah.
Next session,
Srinivas,
but please
Ashok this
continue with
side.
the case
Ashok this.
management. Hi Ashok.
Hi Srinivas. You can like existing one only. You can continue with Ramesh. That's remaining. I can discuss with anybody if required. Yeah.
Okay,
okay.
makes
Okay.
sense.
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you, Ramesh. Thank you, Ashok. Thanks for your support.
Okay, Srinivas.
Sorry, guys, we are facing some technical issues. I don't know why. Internet issues.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the existing application, MyTown 311. It's a application, service request application. In that town, suppose MyTown, we have created this application to report issues around the town. So this is application for MyTown. So let's assume that we have created our application. MyTown, this is the class it will generate once you create the application, and we have added a case type here. Service request is the case type. Okay. If you want, we can create another case type. We'll create another case type in that MyTown application. Service request and
we can create a complaint session.
what is that? Complete?
Complaint or
Yeah, complaint or problem.
Okay. Okay, so we are creating a new case type. It's not a child case in the service request. We are creating a complaint as a new case type in that MyTown. So we have to give the case type name. Once you click on the submit, Pega will create a case type. Yeah. So here Pega has generated a class and a case type also. If you see this class definition, it is MyTown work icon complaint. This is a new class and it has created new case type. So now we need to enhance our complaints case type. So in the workflow tab, we need to add our stages, steps, and everything here, right? As I said. So we need to do here in the workflow tab. So okay. So we need to give our stages. So how our complaint case type will go through. So what should be the first stage?
This is Puneet. We can use collect information or something as a first stage, and
that could be the step, but the stage name should be some like a we have service request, we have submission review like that. We'll use a submission. First stage we should be submission. Yeah. So in the submission, we need to add our, as I said, collect information.
Collect information might be
Yeah,
process
Ramesh,
name.
can you give me like a login page?
What is that?
Login page like that you can give that. That is better, I think. We can have the login details in the first page. Collect information like that. Every details.
Login
So
details you
submission
want
is
to
correct.
give the- I don't know who is speaking. Your voice is not clear. I'm not unable to hear it clearly. Can you repeat again?
Sir, you carry on, sir. But you carry on.
Okay. So in our complaints case type, first we'll raise our complaint, and then it will go to some authorities. They will review it and they will address it. Like a service request only, we are just creating our complaint request. So where we are creating a complaint and we are routing complaint to someone, they will review and they will respond that complaint. Then it will resolve. So it's a simple basic 3 or 4 stages. So in the okay. Right. Okay. Submission, let it submission. Okay. Submission, then review. So first we need to raise the complaint, then it will go to review stage, then it will resolve. So in the okay. So in the submission stage, we need to add the steps. What are all the steps? So this is like a initial stage where we are raising our complaints. So for that we need some forms, right? Collect information and report a complaint. Those are the steps we'll add here. So here in the stage, we have add process. We need to add a new process here. So in the process we have multiple steps like collect information. So sorry guys, it is slow. I don't know why. Okay, collect information, report a problem, then receive update. So basically in the first stage, submission stage, we are just entering our information and we are entering our complaint, and we can opt whether we need to receive updates or not. So these are all the steps in this submission process. In the first step, we are entering all these 3 things. So in the review stage, we will add another process. Okay, just review the complaint, then okay, in the review phase, they will review our complaint and they will route our complaint to concerned department. So in the final stage, they will see our complaint and they will work on our complaint and they will resolve it. So this is a simple step. Later we can elaborate each stage and each step based on our requirements. So okay, in the resolution stage, we can have what could be the steps.
Resolve complaint.
Okay, that could be the last. Before that, we need to address. Okay, address issue. Address the issue. Okay, give meanings in that. Resolve it and just to notify. Okay, so I just created a simple case type, so which is complaints, and this is the case life cycle. It has three stages. One is submission, review, resolution. So in the submission stage, basically user will enter the information, user information, and he will enter the problem complaint information. And he will opt whether he is going to receive the update or not. He will opt here. The simple three screen. After that, case will be routed to review stage, a different department. So they will actually open our complaint and they will review it and they will route to the concerned team. So suppose in our town, if it is a complaint is related to roads or parking, so they will route that case to the relevant department. If it is the roads, they will route to the roads department. So once they route it, actually here concerned department will perform the action. So they will address the issue and they will resolve it and they will send the notification to the users saying that simple email your issue has been resolved, some kind of thing. So this is the simple case type. So each stage we need to define status. So once we create our case, it will enter into submission stage. We can define our stages here, like a new, open, pending review, pending resolution, some kind of stage statuses. So work object statuses. So in this, as soon as enter the stage, we should not resolve the case, and the inside we can resolve the case. So this is the last stage of this case. So we are selecting this resolve this case. So once it processes all the steps inside the stage, it will resolve the case by updating the status as resolve completed. So we can select if it has any open assignments, it will delete. If we have any open childs, it will resolve. So we have these options in child cases. So each stage we have these options. Automatically move to next stage means once the case is completed, entered in the stage, and if it complete all the steps in the stage, it will automatically move to next stage. So where we have three options: wait for user action, or wait for resolve the case, or resolve the case. So if it is a final stage, we can choose the resolve case, and if it is a initial stage or middle stage, we can choose these options. So if you want to wait the case at the stage level, we need to select. We can select wait for user actions. So based on the user action only, it will move. The case will be moved to one stage to another stage. Or else, if you select this, so once it is complete all the steps, it will automatically move to review stage. Whereas in the review stage also, we have this option. So when all the processes means when all the steps are completed in this case, how we are going to do the case, whether it goes to automatically goes to the next stage or wait for user action. We have these three radio buttons. We can select that. So similarly, we should have some alternative stage. So suppose in between, if you have some problem, or if it is a duplicate complaint, or if the complaint is not accepted, so if the concerned team is rejecting that complaint, so how the case should be. So suppose in the review stage, if our complaint is rejected or if our complaint is closed or cancelled, then we can manage. This is the alternative stage. So approve or reject. So in this stage also we can define our steps, processes and steps. So if something is unusual thing happened in the case, let's say, suppose in the review stage, if something has happened, so if you want to go, case should be goes to this reject case, we can route that case to reject case, and we can update the case status as resolved, rejected, something like that. Basically it's an alternative stage. So it's not in the normal process. It's alternative stage. Once the case is come to alternative stage, that should be done. So similarly, in the settings tab, we can see about everything. So for the case type, so how our case type. So basically, it's based on the case type starting letter. Pega will generate the ID, case ID. See, if you want to, you can change this complaint. You can give your ID here. We have, one second. We have these options, so we can discuss later. On temporary cases, we have different things. And locking, we have locking here. How the locking strategy on this case, allowing one user or allowing multiple user. We can click this, allowing one user. So default locking will be 30 minutes. So if you open the case, if the case is if the case came to your work basket work list, if you open the case, so case Pega will lock the case for 30 minutes, or you can define your own. You can override this. Default time is 30 minutes. So allow multiple users. So okay, I don't want to go in deep. This we can discuss in the separate session of the locking. So basically, these are all the settings, case settings. We can define all the things here: email things, goal, deadline, notifications, what are the participants, everything we can design here in the settings tab. So we just added our forms here, a collect information form. So we need to configure the view. how our form should look like. So generally first name, last name and address. These are the general fields. So Pega will create the property as well. If you enter the fields here, it will create the properties. Basically, we are designing our form, user form. So when the case enters to submission stage, we need to enter our details. What is the first name, last name, address, some required field. We can choose whether it is optional or required or read only or calculated. We have these options. And what is the type? If it is a text or if it is a phone number, if it is integer or email, we have all these types, property types. We can say it is required. Means user has to enter this first name. Otherwise, we cannot go to next form. Sorry. I just clicked on escape. Let's say gone. So based on the property, we can choose the type. If it is a single or paragraph, boolean, so radio buttons. So once you enter the field here, Pega will create a property in our appropriate class, worker class, and the case type class. And for the each property, we can define our own type. These are all the types, allowable types. If it is a number, we can choose integer. If it is a decimal, we can choose decimal. If it is URL, we can choose URL. And if it is a date time, okay. So submission date. We can choose a date time or date only. You can make the properties whether it's optional or required. So how we are handling the form. If the user wants to, if you want user to enter all the fields required, we can make it required or we can make it optional. Suppose phone number required, date required.
Yeah, hi Ramesh. Can we add radio buttons and checkboxes also here?
General. Encourage it as a yes. Wait. Basically we can property, but in the represent we can make it as a checkbox. Those are all the controls. Box rate we can represent in submit button.
Ramesh sir.
Yeah. I'm not seeing submit button there. That's why I'm
Ramesh sir.
struggling. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, Ramesh sir.
Yeah, go ahead. Hello, go ahead.
Yes, sir. We can also create this stages process steps from PY default also, right? Am I audible,
One
sir?
second. Yes. Yeah, I got your thing. So this is the case life
So
cycle.
which one is the recommended one? My doubt. From case type, from this case type or PY default?
No, this one has the more visible, more options, right? You can configure view. Whereas if you open the case type in the PY default, if you open this, it will open PY default rule, like a PY default. 1 second. So here in this we have stages step, so we can add our stages everything here. But compared to this, if you go to here, we have everything, right? You can configure view here. We can assign deadlines, everything.
Okay, sir.
So this is the rule. This is the rule. Okay, PY default is the case type rule, whereas this is the case lifecycle designer, case designer. So backend. So for this case lifecycle, backend rule is the PY default. This is the actual PY rule. Backend is the PY default is the rule.
Okay, sir. So this one is recommended, right? You are saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, sir. Thank you.
I am configuring you, but I am not getting submit button. It's
Ramesh, actually, if you minimize the Google screen settings,
if you zoom out, you can see the submit button.
Yes. If you zoom down.
Okay.
No, not that one. Go for the Google settings. Right side history, all Google settings will be there, right? So there, if you zoom to 70 or 80, the submit button, I think it will be visible. Because similar issue other applications also I noticed. Google has some problem with this.
Sir, simply you can press Control minus.
Yeah. I did.
Control minus.
Yeah. So here we can add our fields. Means a property Pega will create properties in the class. The
Sir,
data
we are unable to see your screen. Like your screen got stuck, I believe so.
I am unable to share my screen. I am clicking on this, but it is not sharing. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I am unable to share my screen, Srinivas.
Give me a second. Can you share it now, sir? One more time.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm seeing your screen, but
Sorry, guys.
No, sir. No, it is not sharing.
Okay, Ramesh, we will try the options which you advised, so we can go for pushing part. I hope so.
Yeah. We can stop here. So we have some technical problems. It is not sharing my screen. No, it is not sharing Srinivas. Yeah, sorry guys.
Sorry guys, but we will discuss the one more time, like how the whole case management cycle, like how to implement the close case management cycle for the next session also, if you guys are okay.
Yeah. No, Srinivas. From here we will create one application. We'll process that application till end. So by covering all the rules in Pega, so concepts and rules.
Yeah,
So
sure.
today we just we know case management, how to create a case, adding the stages. So guys, if you have installed personal edition, you can create your own application. You can create your case type and just add the stages. Just do your thing. Go around the case designer.
Yeah, sure.
Can we wind up the session, or do you want to continue with any question QA session?
Ramesh, I have a question.
Yeah.
Actually, just now you showed me in settings we can do like 30 minutes log. Yeah. Anyway, you told we can discuss later, but I have a small doubt about that. Before, in the initial session, you told. I mean, before when you're starting, if 2 users are going to try to access the same case, the initial person case will be getting locked, and the other person cannot handle that case. Am I right?
That is default locking. Whereas in the optimistic locking, you can have multiple users work on the work object, but whoever submits the first, those changes will be submitted. So other user will get a message like this user has submitted. You have to refresh your screen. So second user should refresh the screen and he has to submit the changes. That is optimistic locking.
Okay. So optimistic that one we need to go and do in the settings. Am I right? Instead of 30 minutes, we can make our own time. Like if it is like 10 seconds or 20 seconds.
No, you are talking about default locking or optimistic locking. In which scenario you are talking? You are asking your question. I don't understand. So in which scenario you are asking? Default locking or optimistic locking?
He's asking about default locking because the time was only will be there in the default locking in the setting option.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was asking like we can change the time. Yes, we can change the time according as per our convenience in minutes only.
Yeah, we can. It's editable. Yeah, it's a editable field. We can change. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
So Pega gives default 30 minutes locking time. Default 30 minutes. It's a editable field. You can update it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So, but there is a difference between default and optimistic. You know, right? Default means one user. Optimistically means case can be accessed by multiple users, but we have some conditions. It should be a child case. It has a parent case. And locking. So whoever submits first, those changes will be submitted, and others will see the message saying that this case is submitted. You have to refresh the screen and submit. So, yeah, that's the optimistic locking.
Now I'm clear, Ramesh. Thank you very much.
Can you hear my voice?
Yeah. Somebody is speaking. Yeah.
So you have created one application, right? So when you are creating the application structure, you have used implementation, right? Can I know the difference when we will be using implementation and when we'll be using framework?
Okay. Okay. So you want to know the difference between implementation and framework, right? So while creating our application, we have two options. One is implementation only, or one is a framework. So if you are choosing the framework, so means we need to go deep into the class structure, enterprise class structure, how Pega creates the layers. So organization layer, division layer, and implementation layer. If you choose framework, Pega will create a framework layer. So framework layer means it is the foundation of basic flavor of the application, where we can extend our implementation applications from the framework. So technically, I don't know whether you understood or not. So
what I understood is under framework create more implementation applications, right? Now we are
what is the framework? Yeah.
One implementation application. So when we create framework, under framework we can create multiple implementation applications. Is it right?
Yeah. So yes, correct. So we can extend our framework application. We can create our implementation applications by extending our framework. So yeah.
Hi Ramesh, can we reopen the case which is closed, which is resolved one?
Yeah, we can reopen. Yeah, we have OOTB activities. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Ramesh, I have a question. Yeah, regarding this class structure. So here we have two direct and pattern inheritance there is, right? So when we are going with the direct inheritance and at what kind of scenarios, what kind of business requirement we go with the pattern inheritance?
No. First of all, we need to understand the enterprise class structure layer. So how it is. PRP is a base product. After that, our if we have any framework, we have framework, then implementation layer. So by considering all these, so organization layer to framework layer, we have pattern inheritance. Whereas division to implementation, we have pattern. So whereas division to Pega own application, we have direct inheritance. Whereas implementation to framework, we have the direct inheritance. So okay, we'll talk all these things in the next hour going forward about the enterprise class structure, ECS. We call it ECS, enterprise class structure. So when we create our application, Pega will generate these layers and inheritances. So how what is the inheritance between organization layer, division layer, unit layer, and a framework layer onto the Pega basic product. So we can discuss all those things in the coming sessions.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. We are going to wind up the session for today. And thank you, Ramesh sir, for your valuable time. And sorry, guys, we are having a lot of technical issues today's class. But down the line, we will try to resolve these kind of issues.
Sure. So meanwhile, just install personalization and just try to create application and try to create case type and add stages, some steps. Just be familiar with all these things. Creating case, adding stages, steps. Yeah. So going forward, it should be interactive. So when we are doing here, if you do on your laptop in your system, that would be great.
Sure. Thank you, guys. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.